Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. So about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narrative, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I'm talking about this video clip that was sent to me. I mean, you guys have been on the money, man. You guys have been sending me a lot of information. And I always tell you guys, I try to get back to you guys. And sometimes I forget to email you back or message back. And it takes some time for me. I try to go through the comments. I try to, hit you guys with the video requests and do things. So just forgive me. Just bear with me. I try to cover stuff, guys. A lot of things going on a lot of times, man. And I don't have as much time in the day, as I wish I did. Like I said, I wish I could do this full time. And, I had a platform like this where I could do all these different videos and, different stuff for you guys, man. But shout out to all you guys that continue to hit me up and send me things, man. Shout out to Tony, sent me his email, and it was a clip of Jason Whitlock. Now, I'm not a Jason Whitlock guy. I don't know his platform that well. I remember him when he was on TV on ESPN before they banned him from ESPN. And I think he was on like Fox Sports for a little while. And I've seen some of his stuff, right? But Jason Whitlock, I mean, look at him. That's number one, right? He don't know the game like that, man, Jason Whitlock. A lot of these guys, they get these platforms. This man has over 500,000 subscribers, but he don't know the game like that. But I was sent a clip of Jason Whitlock, and this man called Michael Jordan a coach killer. Like, he really said that. And, like, when I'm listening to the clip, I'm thinking that maybe he didn't mean to say Michael Jordan. Like, maybe he was thinking of LeBron James. I mean, he said Michael Jordan, but actually, we know he's not a LeBron James guy. And he stood on it. He didn't, say, I didn't mean Michael Jordan. But he said Michael Jordan was a coach killer. We're going to talk about this video because I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. No one's ever called Michael Jordan a coach killer, but Jason Whitlock apparently thinks that Michael Jordan's a coach killer. We're going to talk about this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled, man, for all support. It really means a lot, guys. Thank you very much. Real recognize real. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, we're going to talk about this clown, Jason Whitlock, man. Jason Whitlock, you big biscuit-eating fool, man. My goodness, man. He's like Legends of Winning's uncle, right? Jason Whitlock. These clowns out here on TV. And like I said, man, I don't know what Jason Whitlock has been doing on his channel or on his platform over the last several seasons. I know that him and Scap have like a thing. So shout out to Scap Attack and the duo of Scap and Jason Whitlock. I've seen these guys doing videos. Yo, Jason Whitlock, man. What's going on here? Scap, you left us to go to Jason Whitlock, man? Once again, you out here for the money and the fame. You see what I'm saying, man? It's insane. I ain't going on no damn Jason Whitlock platform. Like, you gotta be kidding me. If I'm going on that platform, I'm gonna set the record straight on that damn platform. This clown out here. So like I said, guys, I was sending a clip. Shout out to my man Tony for sending me this clip. Jason Whitlock talking, and now he's on a panel with like two other guys. And they weren't talking about Michael Jordan. This had nothing to do with Michael Jordan. That's what made this even weirder and made it make no sense to me at all. They're talking about Caitlin Clark and the coaches that Caitlin Clark has gone through. Now, I believe she's in her second season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark. And they're saying how the head coach of her team, I think it's the Indiana team, right? That the coach of that team is like, wants to leave or doesn't want to coach anymore. Or, is having a problem coaching Caitlin Clark or something like that, right? And they were talking about how Caitlin Clark is becoming a coach killer. This is what they were saying. I don't know Caitlin Clark. Don't know WNBA. I don't watch it. I won't ever watch that stuff. No knock on people who like WNBA. I told you guys, I'm not watching this stuff. So I don't know who the coach of Caitlin Clark's team is. I don't know what the details of the scenario. But what they were saying, they were referring to Caitlin Clark as a coach killer if they get rid of another coach for her and hire another coach. Because they're saying that would be 3 coaches in 3 years. Okay? So I guess supposedly the first year they had a head coach, they got rid of it, got another head coach this year. Now they're possibly going to have a 3rd head coach in her first 3 seasons. So they're labeling her as a coach killer or a potential for her to be labeled as a coach killer, they're saying. Oh, people are going to start saying this about her. And Jason Whitlock says, well, that makes me think of another coach killer, Michael Jordan. This is what he said. It makes me think of another coach killer, Michael Jordan. And I had to rewind it and play it again a couple of times because I had to make sure that I was hearing him correctly. Because like I said, man, these people, they don't know how to speak sometimes, right? So they're trying to make a point and they say it all wrong. They don't know how to articulate their points. A lot of these guys don't. That's why they stumble and bumble. That's why they sound like hypocrites. That's why they're contradicting themselves all the time. Because they forget they said something or how they said it, and then they say something that's complete contradictory to what they just freaking said. So this guy sits there and says, oh, that makes me think of a coach killer, another coach killer, Michael Jordan. So, like I said, Jason Whitlock, my man, I'm going to tag you in this video. You're probably not going to see this video. Maybe Scap will see the video. Scap, reach out to this freaking clown and let him know to holler at me. And I'll explain it to him that Michael Jordan was never a coach killer, was never labeled that, was never even whispered that he was a coach killer, that he wasn't coachable, or any of this stuff. From the day that Michael Jordan came in the NBA, guys, every time I heard an interview from a coach that coached Michael Jordan, they talked about how coachable he was, how he was willing to do whatever the coach asked him to do. So, does that sound like a coach killer? And then, when the other guys on the panel were kind of confused and questioned and gave him a little pushback on this, they said, Michael Jordan, coach killer. When was this? Jason Whitlock once again tried to stand on it and started talking about Michael Jordan and how he was getting different coaches. Let's understand something, Jason Whitlock, all right, man? I'm going to educate you here because you obviously weren't watching basketball in the 80s and the 90s, and obviously Jason Whitlock is older than me. He's been around longer than me. He should know more than me. He's supposed to be a journalist. These guys are supposed to have journalistic integrity because even if he thought that, and then someone said, like, I don't know what you're talking about, Jason Whitlock should have came out and corrected himself. And he should have said, Michael Jordan was never a coach killer, never got coaches fired, never asked to have coaches fired, never wanted or requested a different coach. It's actually quite the opposite in terms of Michael Jordan and what he wanted and what the Bulls did to him. So, I've told you guys what? Michael Jordan led the Chicago Bulls to the playoffs every single season in Chicago during a rebuild. Those first 3 years in Chicago, guys, was a rebuild. I've told you guys what? His first 3 years on the Bulls had 3 different head coaches. That wasn't because of Michael Jordan. Right. So let's think about this. Kevin Lowry, right? Kevin Lowry was the first coach when Michael Jordan got to the Bulls. He was the coach of the Chicago Bulls in 1984, right? The 84 season was his first year as head coach of the Bulls. The second year he was head coach of the Bulls was Michael Jordan's first season. So he had 1 year of Michael Jordan, right? They made the playoffs, and then they got rid of him. Kevin Lowry got rid of him. So that wasn't because of Michael Jordan. They went for a new coach. So they bring in Stan Albeck. They bring in Stan Albeck now. Stan Albeck coached for 1 season, right? 1 season. Remember, Michael Jordan wasn't even there. He missed the entire season except for like 12 games because of the foot injury. So Michael Jordan wasn't even there the second year with Stan Albeck like that. And they got rid of Stan Albeck after the second season. They got nothing to do with Michael Jordan, man. Remember, they wanted Michael Jordan to stay out of the lineup because they wanted a higher draft seed. That's what the ownership wanted in Chicago. Michael Jordan said, hell no. That's a loser's mentality to have. We're not going to do that. I'm coming back and we're going to try to make the playoffs. So Michael Jordan leading teams to the playoffs is somehow him being, a coach killer, getting coaches fired for doing whatever it is they want to do, playing whatever system they want to play, going out there and doing his thing. Coach killer now. Jason Whitlock. Third year now, they bring in Doug Collins. And this would be the first season that Michael Jordan would have one head coach for consecutive seasons. So it took Michael Jordan his third year in the NBA to have a coach for consecutive seasons, third and fourth year. That was the first time in his NBA career. His fourth season, he had the same coach for consecutive years. What the hell does that have to do with Michael Jordan? That was the Bulls ownership, the management, making those changes. Once again, they're in a rebuild. They're trying to find something here. So you bring in Doug Collins, and the Bulls start to ascend, right? You go to the second round in 88. You go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 1989 with Doug Collins, right? And then what happens after that season? They get rid of Doug Collins and bring in Phil Jackson. Michael Jordan wanted Doug Collins to stay there. He didn't want Doug Collins out of there. He wanted him to stay. He was not happy with them getting rid of Doug Collins. Did that match the Chicago Bulls organization? Did they care about their star player being happy or wanting that change or not requesting this? No. They thought it was the best move to make for their franchise, and Michael Jordan went along with it. He was willing to sacrifice, and he was willing to listen to Phil Jackson, because if it was going to help them win, he was on board with it. So he said, I'll see what happens. I'm not happy about Doug Collins not being here, but I'm going to give it a chance. And Michael Jordan did that, and the rest is history. That's called being coachable, not a coach killer. If Michael Jordan was a coach killer, he would have been a disgruntled employee when they brought in Phil Jackson in place of his friend Doug Collins. He would have been disgruntled because, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it was becoming a pattern here. 1988, remember, they get rid of Charles Oakley, right? You get rid of Charles Oakley, right? And then you bring in something like Bill Cartwright. So you make a trade. Michael Jordan's friend, Charles Oakley, he didn't want Charles Oakley traded. And then the next year, you get rid of his head coach. So this was, once again, things building up here. Michael Jordan wasn't disgruntled, didn't say, no, I'm not playing for this guy. I'm not playing in a triangle offense. I'm not doing this. Trade me or get rid of this guy. When the Bulls lost in the Eastern Conference Finals the next season with Phil Jackson, did Michael Jordan say, hey, see, we got to the same place we were with Doug Collins. Why did we get rid of Doug Collins? I don't want to play for this guy anymore. Michael Jordan never did this kind of stuff. But Jason Whitlock's calling him a coach killer? You can't say something that profound on your platform when you have over 500,000 subscribers, Jason Whitlock, and you say something like Michael Jordan being a coach killer when that's not even close to reality. That's not your opinion, Jason Whitlock. That's not his opinion. That's a complete lie. Michael Jordan was not a coach killer, guys. Not even close to this stuff. And like I said, if Jason Whitlock is thinking about LeBron James, and he should have corrected himself, because it's LeBron James who, in fact, we all know is a coach killer. Just in LA alone, this man's been through 4 head coaches in 7 seasons. That's a coach killer. Luke Walton, he killed Luke Walton. What did he do for Luke Walton? Just killed him. Got him right up out of there, right? What happened to Frank Vogel? Got him up out of there. Darvin Ham got him up out of there. And now there's J.J. Redick fool there. They think about the first thing in Cleveland. How many coaches in Cleveland? When you had Mike Brown and Paul Silas there, right? Then he came back. When he came back, he had David Blatt there, our quality head coach. Got rid of him with Ty Lue, right? Miami Heat, he wanted to get rid of Eric Spoelstra, but Pat Riley, he wasn't going for it. Eric Spoelstra is still there to this day, guys. Once again, LeBron James is a straight clown. Ain't never making the coaches great, right? He's not coachable. He's a coach killer. But you got Jason Whitlock out here talking about Michael Jordan's a coach killer. A coach killer. When he played for Phil Jackson for all of those years. When Michael Jordan came back for the Wizards, did he demand a different head coach? He had Doug Collins there. Did he demand a different head coach? When Doug Collins broke his streak of 10-point games, remember the 10-point streak that was broken for the Wizards on the Wizards? Did Michael Jordan ask for Doug Collins to be fired? Did he say, I'm not playing for you anymore, man, I'm done with this guy? No. Michael Jordan wasn't a coach killer, man. He was out there giving the effort, being coachable, allowing the coaches to be great, helping them, assisting them, galvanizing the team, always appreciating the coaching staff, giving them their props. I remember hearing Michael Jordan say many times, many occasions in a post-game press conference, acknowledging the coaching staff for the game plan and what they did. Come on, Jason Whitlock, it sounds ridiculous, man. Like I said, man, you need to correct yourself. You need to come out here and issue a public apology to Michael Jordan. Ain't no way in hell you can label Michael Jordan a coach killer, man. This sounds like some LeBron James fan nonsense, Jason Whitlock. Are you on the payroll now? Like I said, man, Jason Whitlock, you're a straight clown, man. You don't know the game like that. You don't know what you're talking about. Keep Michael Jordan's name with your mouth, man. You're going to say something stupid like Michael Jordan, a coach killer, in relation to Caitlin Clark possibly going on a 3rd coach in 3 years. Michael Jordan had 3 coaches in 3 years. Had nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with that dude. Remember, let's think about Bobby Knight. Did he seem like a coach killer to Bobby Knight? No, Bobby Knight loved Michael Jordan. Said he was the best basketball player he ever saw in his life. How about Michael Jordan in North Carolina? Was he a coach killer? Dean Smith was there all those years. The great legendary Dean Smith. Was Michael Jordan a coach killer? Was he not willing to learn and listen? No, that's part of Michael Jordan's greatness, is he was coachable. He was willing to go to North Carolina and develop and learn and plan a system. Sacrifice for those coaches. Bobby Knight. Michael Jordan never, think about him in college. Michael Jordan wasn't these guys that was putting up all these crazy numbers. You look at Michael Jordan's numbers, they're modest numbers, even though the impact was there and he got notoriety and recognition. But he wasn't up there putting up all these legendary numbers because he played in an actual system. He was handcuffed to a degree by Dean Smith. Still coachable. You understand what I'm saying, guys? These are the facts. Jason Whitlock, come on, man. Scat. Talk to your boy Jason Whitlock, man. You guys need to get me on that platform. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing over there, man. But you need someone to set the record straight on this nonsense. Jason Whitlock calling Michael Jordan a coach killer. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.